Hello everyone, this is the Archfiend, and I just turned on my computer and saw some news that just blows my mind. And I know a lot of my fans out there aren't going to fully get the gist of this and why I'm so ticked off about this. But anyways, this is for a lot of the hardcore wrestling fans out there on YouTube that can just totally relate to how I feel or just dispute what I have to say here. Um, the wrestler Ric Flair is returning to in-ring action against Hulk Hogan. It's not going to be in a WWE match or TNA or anything too major. It's going to be in a 4-day tour series of matches in Australia that is co-promoted by Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan. Now, a lot of you out there might be saying, oh, that's great. He's going up against, one of the quote-unquote greatest people of all time in Hulk Hogan. Now, Ric Flair is quite possibly the most respected man in the history of the business. And more than just a few people will tell you that. He went out in a retirement match that is going to go down as one of the classiest things in the history of wrestling. He faced Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania. He didn't embarrass himself. He is a very aged competitor in wrestling, but the guy can still go. So he had himself a good match. Definitely not one of his greatest matches, but Jesus Christ. The guy's 100 years old. And he has said repeatedly on numerous instances that was it. That is his last match. He does not want to tarnish that mark that he left on the industry in that classy moment. And doesn't want to mar that big send-off that was given to him on Monday Night Raw the following night by Vince McMahon and everyone else in WWE. It basically, got together and gave him one of the most kick-ass farewells that you could ever see. Now, I know this is just, quote-unquote fake wrestling shit and people take it too seriously. But, people that take it with an ounce of passion can appreciate someone like Ric Flair and the way he transcended in the industry and stepped out of the industry. Now, this guy is going on to face Hulk Hogan, okay? Now, I know a lot of you are going to say, oh, Hulk Hogan, he's one of the biggest names ever in wrestling, if not the biggest. All right. Hulk Hogan is probably 1/1000th as mobile in the ring as he used to be. He hasn't wrestled a physical match in, oh God, I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you when his last match was. It was at least 5 years ago from my recollection. And he's going against this guy. And it just blows my mind. I mean, I would almost be able to accept this story if it was against someone else because Ric Flair has had on numerous occasions gave his opinion of Hulk Hogan and just gave his opinion about why Hulk Hogan was brought into WCW and how disappointed he was that Hulk Hogan basically just squashed him right off the bat the second Hulk Hogan got into WCW, and how that led to the chain of events of all the quote-unquote good old boys in WCW getting buried because Hulk Hogan was a stepping stone for Macho Man Randy Savage, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and all the quote-unquote Eric Bischoff buddies that came over and dominated WCW. So Ric Flair wants to go on, just throw out that match that he had with Shawn Michaels pretty much, and go ahead and have another match with someone who he has pretty much little respect for in the industry. Ric Flair, I mean, Jesus Christ, dude, what the hell are you thinking? I swear to God, I hope Ric Flair just cancels and quits. I'd rather have him be a quitter in this situation than go on and physically have a match with Hulk Hogan here. Because it's going to be such an embarrassment on so many levels. It's such an embarrassment to the industry. And yeah, I know, there's a lot of your fans that would still want to see you go one more match. But Jesus Christ, is this worth it? I mean, do you need a payday that bad to go against Hulk Hogan in some 4-day tour over in Australia that's going to, make you how much money? You have to throw what you had in that big send-off away so that you get a payday on some little 4-day tour in Australia that probably isn't even going to get any play in North America? What the hell are you thinking? And yeah, I know, I'm one of the quote-unquote too serious wrestling fans that's taking this too serious. But you know what? There is times in wrestling that I just totally respect it for what it is. And one of those times was Ric Flair leaving the business 2 years ago. Now, it's just a washout. It doesn't mean anything. And even if he did quit the match right now, it's already scarred. The scar is already there. He's already committing to have a match against Hulk Hogan. That's fantastic. Way to go, Ric Flair. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You know what? You had me fooled because I thought you were a total class act, but this just proves that, I don't know, you're either just in it for the money or you're in it for the fact that you just can't totally respect the business. You just have to just basically take the business that gave you a huge ass respectful ending and you have to spit in its face. I don't know. That's pretty much all I got to say on it. So all the Ric Flair fans, go ahead and bring your hateful comments because I'm trashing him for wanting to have one more match. But just look in the mirror and ask yourselves: is it really worth it for him to come back? I don't know. Disappointed. Very disappointed. So yeah. Yeah. No anything else to say. Have a good night.